You can see with the pink colored rug that even, just putting a couple cups in the drain in the dishwasher might have been overkill. I used a couple of rags, they'll clean up. Just wet towels and wet rags after you've got done cleaning up and stuff. Just throw in one of the hampers and you clean. The people that come here next will clean those out. Now, if Janet gets upset with me and this carpet is turned pink, I'm thinking it'll wash out. But if it doesn't, Janet, just think about this. The part that froze and broke the last time was $54. Of course, you're not worried about the 2 hours it took me to fix it, but at any rate, I'll buy you a new one if that doesn't come clean. But then again, too, it's just the cottage, so if it's a little stained, it just adds character. Then you want to get the water filters out of from underneath the sink. I have already put the drain antifreeze in, so when I take this out, I'm going to have to dump the water outside. I can't dump it down the sink because I'll dilute the drain antifreeze. Of course, just go in and pick up the water that comes out with one of the tea towels. Somehow Janet might find this unacceptable, but if I was using paper towels, that would increase the carbon footprint, and the more carbon dioxide that's in the atmosphere, the more climate change we're going to have, and the more climate change we're going to have, the more the water levels of the lake is going to go down. But then again, too, the waters of the lake might go up. Regardless of what happens, we know that climate change is going to be disastrous, and it's either going to cause the levels of the water to go down, of the lake to go down, or the levels of the lake to go up. So I am just trying to prevent catastrophe out in front of the cottage. I want to maintain a waterfront property, and if I'm using paper towels instead of tea towels, then that's surely going to happen. Then I'm going to go outside back into the basement again. Hopefully the garden hose have got done draining. It's been an hour and a half or something since I started, and I will put in some mouse poison, and I will put it up high so dogs and kids can't get to it. Make sure kids aren't going in there and getting into it, because sometimes kids can find things no matter how hard you try to keep it away from them. Keep the basement door closed to keep kids out. Keep them away from the poison. And then what I will do is I will put these little sticky mouse traps up here on the floor. Okay, here are the sticky mouse traps in place. You notice I put them under the leg of something because, believe it or not, I've already caught mice that were half on, half off, and they dragged the little bodies out of the way and died and stunk. So that's why I put something on them to keep them from moving around. A couple's enough in the kitchen, dining room. Okay, came outside. The water heater's done draining. No water's coming out. I established at first that there was hot water coming out for a while. Here are, well, there's an empty Clorox bottle plus the 6-gallon bottles I used to winterize the house, the cottage. I save empty bottles. I can use them for balers and flotation, and they just seem to come in handy a lot. And sometimes after I accumulate so many, I burn them. The very last thing that I do to close the cottage is open the drain on the water down by the shoreline. What's interesting is where the water line is, where that opening was at the water level back in 2005. Correction, that where the water outlet was where it was in 2004, not 2005. You could see how much The water is down from where it was then. But anyway, just open that spigot up and that drains all the water back that goes up to the cottage. Okay, here's the water coming out. And at the end, pull the plug in the refrigerator, open up the door, and dump and make sure there's no ice in the ice cube making things. And if you already put antifreeze in the drains, don't put it back in the drain again. Okay, I think I keep on saying finally, but this is final. When you're shutting off the electric, just shut off each one individually. Don't shut off the main. The main is too hard to get back on. So, something like this.